Hi, this is Alan from Pipe9. We believe that Microsoft Teams is fast becoming the platform of choice for employee development. When we were designing and developing SkillMe, we had three clear goals in mind. Our first goal was to become the #1 skills app for Microsoft Teams. And we have huge momentum towards achieving that goal. We have 20,000 users of SkillMe at Microsoft alone today. The second goal was to enable employees to own their growth in the context of the role that they perform. And our third goal was to make it easy for managers to help their team members to prioritize their skill development and to connect them to the right resources, to the right experts, and to the right experiences that help to shape their growth. So let me introduce you to SkillMe. The way I introduce SkillMe is by introducing Skills Board. We build skills boards for every single role within your organization. A skills board is a representation of the skill areas and the individual skills that drive success for all of your roles. In this case, it's the sales leader role. We have 4 skill areas across the top. And we have about 25 individual skills. And the very simple idea is that if we master all of the skills associated with our role, we get to a very important destination. We become a master of the role. And perhaps at that time, we're then ready to take on our next challenge. But how do we activate our skills board? What we do is we go into perspectives here, and I click on a skill. And for each and every skill, I complete 3 questions. The first question is, how important is this skill going to be to me in my next skilling period? From the last, let's say, connect skilling development discussion with my manager through to the next. This is my skilling period. How important is this skill going to be to me in terms of driving success for me in my role? I'm going to say in this case it's important. My level of proficiency associated with where I'm at in my journey to master this skill. For me, I'm at the foundational level with this skill. My frequency of executing the knowledge, the principles, the practices that sit behind this skill, for me, is sometimes execute the knowledge. And you'll notice that color gets assigned now to this skill, and so on and so forth. I go to the next skill and the next skill. And when I've completed my perspectives for each and every skill, my skills board looks like this. And my skills board is now starting to guide me. Because red skills are skills that are just not going to be important to me. Amber skills are the new skills. Willingness to learn new things is an important growth mindset tenet. So what are these new things? Well, these are the amber skills on my skills board. Green skills are the most important skills because the gap between where I am and mastering these skills is at its greatest. So these are the skills that are the most important skills to me through this skilling period. Light purple skills are the skills I'm close to mastering. It's that final push, that final sprint to the finish line, and I become a master of the skill. And when I master a skill in the SkillMe application, I go purple with that skill. I'm doing my best work. And of course, I'm not finished because now I'm ready to do something really important for the team and for the community as a whole. I'm ready to model the skills that I've mastered for other team members, other members of my community. And what we do in the background in SkillMe is we bring together purple and green, purple and amber. We bring together people who have mastered skills with people who, for them, these are skills that are looking to accelerate. We make these important mentor-mentee connections in the background within SkillMe. And we know that the more we do this, we can accelerate skill development across the organization. If we can do that, then we can have a positive impact upon business results. But there's another reason why we do this. We go through this process of completing our perspectives. And it's because we can do this. I can pick up some of these skills, and I can drag them across. And I can put these into my priorities column. So now I'm starting to prioritize the skills that I'm going to work on through this next skilling period. And this is important because this is often the most difficult thing for employees to do, to prioritize their skills development. I'm going to pop up some of these skills here, and I'm going to put them into my priorities column. Now, at the very same time that I'm doing this, my manager has also gone through the process of completing their perspective of the work they feel like I'm doing against each one of these skills. And so what I'm going to do now is take on the role of the manager for a second, and I'm just going to refresh my view. I've completed my perspectives here. I'm going to pop back to that sales leader whose name was Mason, and now as Mason's manager, I can see my perspectives on my skills board for Mason, and I can also see the skills look that Mason has prioritized for himself for this next period. And I can look at those skills and say, hey, I think Mason, those skills are great for you for this next period. But maybe I'd also recommend look at another skill, and I'm going to pop that across there into Mason's priorities column. And when I do that, you'll notice, if I just go in here, you can see that skill has now got a little notation on it. It says suggested by you. Suggested by who? Well, suggested for Mason by Mason's manager. Because if I now come back to Mason's view of his skill priorities for this next period, I can see that his skill priorities are now made up of a combination of skills that he's prioritizing for himself and, importantly, skills that are being suggested for him by his manager. Now, formerly, this was a very unstructured approach to get to a point whereby we were really focusing on our skill development priorities, or we would determine our skill development priorities. Now it's much more structured between managers and team members. And we know that if we can make it more of a structured process, we know that we can deliver far better skill development results. And this is really the reason why we do this. Now, once I've determined my skill development priorities, what I can do is I can click on these skills and I can start to work on developing them. The first thing that I see is sync. What sync does is bring together the manager's perspective with the team member's perspective, and we can see those perspectives look side by side. That helps us get synced up around where we think we are respectively in terms of our journey towards mastering these skills. The manager can give their perspective, the team member can give their perspective, and what they can do here is choose either way to sync their views together. The manager can choose to sync his or her view with the team member can choose to sync his or her view with the manager. We think sync is really important because the more synced we are in terms of our skill development priorities across the organization, the better results that we'll have. And then there's experiences. On the basis that experiences shape our growth, we think it's important to list these experiences out. Managers can suggest experiences, team members can add experiences, and these experiences then show up in our experiences table. They become the cornerstone of our skill development plan. And then there's resources. What we've done that's unique in SkillMe is that we found the very best resources and we've aligned those resources to the skills that team members are prioritizing for themselves for the next period. And this is what we're seeing here. We're seeing all the very best skills that can help them accelerate the development of these skills. And then there's experts. Remember I said that we bring people together, we bring together people who for them, these are skills that they've mastered with people who are looking to accelerate their development with these skills. Well, here's an example of just that. Challenger mindset is a skill that I'm prioritizing, and I can see the masters of this skill from across my team and from across my community. And obviously in teams, I can reach out to them and establish that important mentor-mentee type of relationship. And then it all comes together with skill plan, because with skill plan, what I can see is I can see a summary at the top of the progress that I've made, perspectives that I've completed, priorities that I've set for the next skilling period. I can see the extent that I'm synced up with my manager, which priorities I'm synced with my manager. I can see the priorities that we've suggested together here on the left-hand side in my plan. If I click on a skill priority, I can see all the experiences that I've added. And there's commentary here associated with the progress I'm making. What's working well? How am I applying what I've learned? What additional support might I need? And so the basis for skill plan is that it becomes the basis for my next skill development discussion with my manager, because I can download the PDF. I can upload skill plan then into my organization's HR system. And then when we have our next Connect discussion around my skill development plan, we can use skill plan as the basis for that. And we know the more these discussions can be based upon a solid skill plan, we know the more we can accelerate skill development across the organization. So in summary, SkillMe is the #1 skills app for Microsoft Teams because it enables employees to own their growth in the context of the role that they perform. And it helps managers to work with their team members to prioritize skill development and connect their teams to the right resources, the right experts, and the right experiences that shape their growth.